Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the GROW program. Um, you know, I'm led by the Spirit. I'm led by the Spirit. It's not just something that I just decide to pick up and do. I am a minister, and I was ministering before on the radio, going around, may do a little talking or whatever, going around visiting churches and stuff. But I knew I had a mission. I knew then something was missing, but I also knew I had a mission and a purpose. But I didn't know what it was because at the time I was still going through stuff. But now it's here, and so I'm here. I'm here to do the purpose of God, and our ancestors. I'm here, to as a living example to show you how to live and how to get the glory. That's what the GROW program is all about. It's not about me. It's not about some personal agenda that I got. And besides trying to see my community lifted up, and the blight gone, I want us to build into the community. I want us to be able to, don't you want to be able to own property and own, maybe own a little business or something? What's wrong with us buying up in our own community? What's wrong with you living in Detroit? When you get your income taxes, because you're going to get an income tax. When you get your income tax, instead of going buying Gucci bags and cars and rims, why don't you go buy some property? And then you have something to look at. Then you have something to see where your money went. And then you go and start building it. That's going to make you so proud. Go in there and start working on it, hammering, building, fixing it up. You can send me some pictures. Let me see how it look. I love to see it. And start building up, putting your people in there. Go down and get folks. You have people being evicted. You have the coronavirus going around. People losing their job. People are hurting right now. So, and they up there fighting over a Supreme Court seat. So they ain't worrying about you right now. They got a whole lot of other stuff going on. They thinking about it. It's in the back of their mind. But right now, I need you to get up and focus. If you got some extra money sitting around, go over there and talk to that down at the courthouse and go talk to them about their property. The most of the property is just tax sales. All you got to do is pay the back taxes on it. It's very simple. They may have an auction, they may not. Even the auction, they still go cheap. It's just like going to buy a car at the auction. You go to the property and go buy a house at an auction, and guess what? That's your house. You fix it up. You ain't got to rent no more. You pay your property taxes every year, so it don't go back to where it was. So you pay your property taxes every year, and then you got you a house for you and your family. Get your relative or somebody come in there and fix on it for you and fix it up. You can add to it, whatever. That's your house. You can buy the house, the burn up one next door, tear that down, and build on your house. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to encourage you to build wealth. And also, I'm trying to incorporate our African American ancestry. The tradition, the customs that they were doing before they were kidnapped, before they were brought over here. We not from this country. We African Americans are not from here. If they hadn't came and kidnapped us, we'd still be in Africa somewhere. And I'm going to tell you something. It ain't what you see on TV. It ain't jungles and spurs and tigers. It's buildings, it's houses, it's communities. It's beautiful. You need to look up Africa because, see, they put this portrayal and what it is, like we some type of animal, but we not. We are human beings, and we had lives. We had things going on over there. There's gold over there. There's a whole lot of stuff over there that they was coming after. But then as they coming at the gold, they see us. So we dark skinned, we stand out. So they can use us as for free labor. But then when they realize they can use us out there for free labor, then they also can use us in their house and in their fields, picking cotton, doing all kind of stuff, whatever. We can't run off because we don't know the land over here. We can't run away and go hide like the Indians did, because our skin stand out. Ain't nobody going to help us. We can't walk in no store somewhere and ask, can you help us? They kidnapped me from my country. You ass over here and you stuck. So that's what the people had to deal with. I feel so sorry for them because these pure souls come to me. Just imagine a pure soul. Look at your baby. That's a pure soul. Just imagine. You born in bondage. You die in bondage. You never know nothing. You never know no hope. But right now, over here, it's people who ain't got hope. And I'm over here trying to tell you, you got hope. It's hope. I'm here. I'm the great black hope. But hope is here. Because we're going to start this movement. We're going to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. So, despite all the things that had happened to us over the past, you sitting back, years ago, back in the 80s, yeah, I thought in the 90s maybe, that we probably gonna get some reparations, especially when Bill Clinton came in. I thought something was getting ready to happen. Ain't nothing gonna happen. You can sit back and wait all day for something to happen. Horrible things happen to African Americans in this country, but it's up to us. They ain't gonna give us no reparations. They know what they did, but it's done, it's over with. We supposed to forget about it. But we can't forget about it. But what we're going to do is we're going to start building in our community. We can't take it out on the white folk. We can't be angry at them. We got to love. That's what our ancestors teach us, is to love. You can't hate. Don't hate your brother. Don't be mad at him. Don't hate on him. Ask him how he did it. Ask him to show you. He'll show you. He won't, he'll help you. Trust me, he will. Because tell him about grow. Tell him, brother, look, I'm trying to grow like you. I'm trying to be like you. I heard this lady talking. She's saying, grow, greatness, reach over oppression through wisdom. If I want to grow, so can you help me show me how you did that without using drugs, without doing anything illegal. We trying to do legal means, people. You don't want to keep being stuck on stupid, being locked up. You know how many of us locked up in there? They brought 12 million of us over here. So just imagine how many of us is locked up behind bars. I'm trying to reach them too. They don't got no hope. So I'm trying to reach them and tell them that there is hope, that we working on a movement out here. And when they come out, they can help us with it. So tell your folks that's locked up, tell them that's locked down. I write to them. I don't mind writing. I send them something. I'd encouragement. I can't write everybody, but I can do something. I am willing to be used as a vessel of the living God to help people. I'm trying to bring my community together, my brothers and sisters. I'm trying to get us to stop killing one another, stop maiming one another. You see how Mr. Gunman, who got, who killing out there shooting and killing in Chicago. You see these families on TV. Don't you have some type of remorse? Ain't you sorry some kind of way for what you doing? You out there, babies falling out in the street, dying from bullets. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. What is going on? I mean, are you that upset? That you got to just take it out on anybody in the community. You need to get it together because your mind ain't right. You need to grow. I want to reach these young people and talk to them and tell them it's a better way of life. You ain't got to get out there like that. I want to see my young people going to college. I be so proud when I see young people acting or young people, doing stuff, doing positive things. I was so proud when I watched the 4 young men helping the elderly people out of the van and helping them get to the store and get back in the van. And I really, ain't nobody even, but I want to just say to those young men, just thank you. Just thank you so much. And encourage the young people to keep doing positive things. Go around your grandparents and hang out with them. Young man in the street, stop hanging out with them gangbangers. School is out. Kids is getting in trouble. Parents, you need to rein your kids in. Because next thing you know, they're going to be down at juvenile hall. I used to go visit down there. Juvenile hall. And then they're going to send them on off to the big house. Now, how this federal system work, young man up in Chicago, you don't know this. See, they don't tell you this till you get in there. How this federal system work, you keep on messing up. Just keep on. Because you're going to inch your way on over to the federal side. By you holding on these weapons and stuff and shooting folks, what's going to happen is you do your state time. Or you may do your fed time first. You don't do both at the same time. You're going to do 20 years in the fed. Then you're going to come do 20 years in the state. And the fed time, I don't know what it's like, in the state time, but the fed, it ain't easy. It ain't easy being away from your family. It's not easy being away from your life. So think about your actions before you go out there and do that. What I highly recommend, and I highly recommend this, is you get rid of the AK-47. Just get rid of it. However way you can get rid of it safely, get rid of it. But I'm just telling you, and please make sure it's safely. Because I'm telling you, I want you to change your life, young man. I want you to do some things different. If you need to talk to me, I got 2 boys. Both of them grown. So I know how to raise a boy. So, and I'm telling you, I need, if you need my help, I will help you get off the street. I help you find a job. I help you stop drug slinging, whatever it is, because I want us to rise. And I'm going to tell you something. These people got people. This boy got a mama. This boy got daddy, got an uncle, auntie. He got somebody. He out there shooting and killing. The girl, whatever she out there doing. They got girl gang banging. They need to quit doing that. It's time out for that. Unless you want to go to jail, unless you just want to die and go to jail, because eventually you're going to get caught up. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But I'm trying to change some things up for you and make you happy, you know, give you the glory. You know, try to change your life. Because I'm going to tell you, I was out there too, you know, just not gang banging, but I was out there. And you know, and I'm trying to make things better. I'm trying to show you because, like I told you, I graduated with a PhD from the School of Hard Knocks. And I'm trying to keep y'all from going in that school. You don't want to go in there because that school is hard. It's hard to learn, especially when you're hard-headed. All right, so I love you. I'm going to wrap this video up. And peace to you. And God bless you. Remember, let's grow. Let's begin to grow. Let's grow.